Hello everyone, welcome to Spinta. Today we are going to conduct a deep dive into a model answer for an IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. We're not just going to look at the essay. We will dissect it line by line to understand the elements that make it a high-band response. My goal is for you to leave this session with a clear blueprint for success, understanding the structure, the sophisticated language, and the analytical techniques you need to use. Let's begin. The very first thing an examiner notices is the structure. This essay uses a perfect 4-paragraph model, which is the gold standard for Task 1. Let's break it down. Paragraph 1 is the introduction, where you paraphrase the question. Paragraph 2 is the all-important overview, where you summarize the main trends. Paragraphs 3 and 4 are for the details, where you present specific data to support your overview. This structure is powerful because it's crystal clear and logical, allowing the examiner to follow your points effortlessly. Now, let's zoom in on the introduction. The chart is titled, Main Worries of Urban Residents in Asia versus Europe, 2023, Fun. A novice writer might just copy this. But look at our model answer. It says, the pie charts illustrate the primary concerns of city dwellers in Asia and Europe during 2023. It has masterfully paraphrased using high-quality synonyms. Illustrates, for, shows, primary concerns for, main worries, and city dwellers for, urban residents. This immediately signals strong language skills. Next, and arguably the most crucial part of your essay, is the overview. A common mistake is to jump right into the numbers. The model answer avoids this perfectly. It says, overall, cost of living emerges as the dominant concern in both regions, though more pronounced in Asia. Environmental issues show a notable regional disparity, featuring much more prominently among European residents. Notice two things. First, no specific percentages. The overview is for the big picture only. Second, it identifies two key patterns. Cost of living dominates both, but environment shows regional differences. This demonstrates comparative analysis skills. Now we move to the body paragraphs, where the details live. A high-scoring response always groups data logically. This answer dedicates paragraph 3 to shared concerns, cost of living and job security, and paragraph 4 focuses on the contrasting concerns, healthcare, crime, and environment. This creates a very effective comparison structure. Look at the language in paragraph 3. It begins with examining the shared priorities, a wonderful linking phrase. It provides specific figures like cost of living accounts for 45% in Asia versus 35% in Europe, and uses comparative language like significantly higher in Asia. The phrase, conversely, is perfectly used to show the opposite pattern for job security. This is sophisticated comparative writing. Paragraph 4 continues this excellence. It starts with another great cohesive phrase. Regarding the remaining concerns, it highlights the stark contrast in environmental worry, 5% in Asia versus 22% in Europe, describing it as more than 4 times higher. The essay notes that crime rates are relatively similar in both regions, showing attention to detail in the analysis. Let's talk more about the vocabulary or lexical resource. The essay is filled with comparative and analytical terms. Instead of simple words, we see phrases like dominant concern, notable regional disparity, featuring much more prominently, and stark environmental contrast. This sophisticated vocabulary shows analytical thinking. Finally, let's consider task achievement. The essay does exactly what is required. It compares the urban concerns between Asia and Europe, identifies patterns and differences, and highlights the key contrasts. Crucially, It does not speculate on cultural or economic reasons for these differences. For instance, it doesn't say, Europeans worry more about environment due to higher education levels. Speculation. In Task 1, you compare and contrast data, not analyze causes. So to summarize, this is a model answer due to its flawless structure, its insightful overview of regional patterns, its logical grouping of shared versus contrasting concerns, and its rich, sophisticated use of comparative vocabulary. This is your target. I encourage you to study this structure and these phrases. Practice them until they become second nature. This is how you will write a high-scoring Task 1 response. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for regular updates and more content on test preparation. And also visit www.spinta.org for more mock tests.